So to finalize down closing and the funnel method, at this point, we've gotten 3 no's. We asked the question very assumptively. Now you've got to be feeling better about that, right? And let's just assume, more often than not, again, this is where the client is going to say yes. And this is part of when we talk about following the process and trusting the system. This is a big part of that when it comes to the closing and down closing process. However, just like there's going to be some situations where a client will say yes to the full inflation or something a little bit more. Sometimes client will say yes to partial inflation or yes to non-inflation. So you only get 1 no before a yes, or 2 no's before a yes, or 0 no's before a yes. There's going to be some times that clients will say no to the option that we down close them from 5 years worth of their income to 3 years worth of their income. And if that is the case, again, that's okay. Sometimes it's going to require us to get 7 no's before we end up getting a yes. Just stay the course, stick with the process. More often than not, you're going to succeed in getting a yes as long as you follow the system. So at this point, after we assumptively asked that you've got to be feeling better about that, right? If they do say no, this is where we are going to insert one of our scripted closes. At the end of your guys' scripts, there are 3 I can't afford it closes. There are 4 additional I want to think about it closes. And there are 14 miscellaneous closes based on the situation that you're giving. My advice is to become very familiar with 1 I can't afford it close, 1 I want to think about it close, and maybe 1 or 2 of the miscellaneous closes based on the situations that you've been seeing a lot of. And I say this because it's better to be a master at 1 than to be a jack of all trades. If you try to just become familiar with all 3 of the I can't afford it's or all 4 of the I want to think about it's versus you being a master of 1 of them, you're going to be able to deliver it with so much more emphasis, so much more conviction, so much more fluidity, which, as we know, is really important to delivering a proper presentation. So at this point, what we use that scripted close for is really just to put it into perspective with the client. It's not to muscle them into finally just changing their mind and saying, yeah, you know what, we can do it. We're just going to hit a quick reboot, reset, and kind of use that to start from scratch a little bit more. So at this point, the client says no, that's okay. I'm not starting to fret. I'm not starting to panic. I'm going to go roll right into my scripted close, and then I'm going to continue using the script saying that, you know, what we found with a lot of the members is the first 12 months of their income being protected is the most critical for their families after death or for their loved ones after death. So what most families are doing is they're getting started with the non-inflation option, taking care of those funeral and final expenses at today's cost, having at least 1 full year of their income fully protected, and the mortgage is assured, as well as the college education as well. Now you've got to be feeling better about that, right? So this is the 5th time we're asking a closing question. If they say no, just keep in mind what we're doing the entire time, social proofing this for the clients. We're making them feel normal. This isn't they're weird for saying no. They're weird for not being able to afford it. They're on an island by themselves if they can't string it together and make it happen right now. It's more about social proofing it, letting them know it's okay. We're on the same page. My job is to help you. This is the vibe we're giving off because at the end of the day, that is our job. Our job is to help them. It's not to hurt them. At any point, if them getting this policy does take food off the table or takes the heat away in the wintertime, we are not doing our job properly. It does have to be comfortable to fit their budget, not just today or for this month. Keep in mind, it's not day insurance, it's not month insurance, it's not even year insurance. This is life insurance. This needs to be comfortable, not just today or this month or this year. It needs to be comfortable for as far as they can see. So with that being said, at this point, now, one of 2 things, okay? If they have the college education and or the mortgage in the down closing process, we can choose to take care of half of the college education and or half of the mortgage. That would be my 6th down close. And if they still say no to that, I'm going to still follow the same verbiage, the same process, making them know it's okay, still building value in the program. At this point, though, my last option would be the two most important things that Joe and Mary had said. And the verbiage for that is very simple. I'm going to keep all the benefits the way that they are. I'm going to keep the final expenses, for example, at $15,000. I'm going to keep the income protection, for example, at 1 year's worth of their income. I'm not going to re-increase it to 5, and or the college or the mortgage, wherever they're at. So I'm going to unclick all the other benefits, and I'm going to say, okay, so this is exactly what you wanted. So we're good? And that's my close. And once they say yes, I'm just going to verify that the monthly premium is comfortable. I'm going to get their verification and the validation there. And I'm going to let them know that, okay, I still have to make sure that you can qualify. So while I'm setting this up, if you can guys do me a favor, if you can grab your driver's license, a voided check, and any prescriptions that you take, we'll be able to get this going.